Hello,
I'm
whatever.
probably about to get off here in like 3 minutes.
Word, man. I'll probably be on for another 45. But hey, I'm actually gonna go use a restroom real quick, and you start debating this
Go
guy.
for it.
I'll be right back, everyone.
Whatever. Did you vote for Donald Trump?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, why so?
Because he's getting all these illegals out, including the Abrego, whatever
Why,
his
why, do,
name
why do you
is.
call people illegals? And also, again, we just went over how that was like illegal.
No, I know, but what you're ignoring is, and what was Dean was saying is a lie.
No, it's
Trump
not.
can, he can say no to the Supreme Court because it hasn't played out totally, and you know that. Just because the Supreme Court rules a certain way, the process doesn't say that the president has ultimate power. The process says is he's going to appeal what the Supreme Court says, and you know that. So why do you mislead people in thinking that that he's not obeying the law? The law, the process has not played out. Correct?
The law was established, particularly like the order from the Supreme Court. You can't say no to a Supreme Court order. Donald Trump
Right,
did say no to a Supreme Court order.
right.
That
And
puts us in a
he
constitutional
can,
crisis. Hold up, also, right? I think it's incredibly
and he
dehumanizing for you to call people "quote unquote"
and he can
illegals,
go,
right? The Supreme Court is the
he
final
can go
arbiter of
back,
the. Hold up, hold
and
up, hold up, hold up, hold up. The Supreme Court is the final arbiter of the law, right? So Trump cannot say no. That's not how it works. You are literally lying.
Hey, what's the lie? Sorry, just came back.
He's saying that Trump doesn't have to like listen to the Supreme Court.
Okay, why?
He thinks that they just have no jurisdiction, apparently.
Okay, why? Whatever.
no,
What's your position?
I didn't say he doesn't have to listen. I
That's
didn't say he doesn't
exactly
have to
what you just
listen to
said.
him. I just said he can consider it, and it has not played out. The final decision has not played out, and
What
you
does that even
know
mean?
that.
What does that mean? Yes, it has. The Supreme Court has made the order.
He can't. Okay, so you're saying that it's played out. What he's doing is illegal,
Yeah.
and he has no response to the Supreme Court. Of course he does.
Wait. So just like in like the checks and balances ordained by the Constitution, rulings by the Supreme Court are like generally final, and they can't be appealed because
Right.
there is no higher court, and like the executive branch of the government um, is under the jurisdiction of like the Supreme Court in a sense, because the Supreme
Right.
Court merely interprets and implements the Constitution as applicable to American law. And because the Supreme Court has interpreted and implemented, the Constitution as applicable to the laws executed on by Donald Trump as illegal, he would have to facilitate the return of Abrigo Garcia, and that would be final.
Yeah, but you keep saying words like generally. You know that the executive branch can question the Supreme Court decision, but you won't acknowledge that. You just
So
say,
would you be
oh,
totally
he's
okay? Would you be
illegally
totally okay
doing
with Biden, right? When it is the case that the Supreme Court said that he, what's it called? When the Supreme Court said that he needed to, bro, my brain just like shot out and completely forgot.
I just want to reiterate that.
Student loans. Sorry, student loans. When that he couldn't facilitate the ending of student loan debt
Uh,
within plenty of
uh,
respects, that he should have been able to do that. Are you saying that?
okay,
but
I'm glad you brought that up
I,
because he did it a second time.
hey, I'm so sorry. I just have to say, you said something false. You said that you could question Supreme Court rulings. No, they're final.
What do you mean they're final?
But
Biden did the
I mean
exact
what I
They
same
are.
say.
thing.
No, he didn't.
The Supreme Court ruled he couldn't eliminate
Okay.
student
So,
loan
so
debt,
Wait.
and he did
Wait.
it
Who
a
do you appeal
second
to? Who
can,
do
time.
you appeal to?
can I just correct him real
He,
quick? Because
he
like
did it a second time.
no. So when the Supreme Court ruled that Biden's loan forgiveness was unconstitutional, he then went back and interpreted what the current law is and found a special way to re-navigate the issue of student loan
See?
forgiveness,
See? You
which means he.
see?
No. You're not listening to me. Can
You
you
It's
listen to me?
see?
illegal. It's
Can
illegal.
you listen to me before you be? Can you listen to me before I finish speaking, without interruption?
Sure. Sure.
When the Supreme Court ruled that Biden's first plan of student loan forgiveness was unconstitutional. Biden did not question that and went along with that Supreme Court ruling, but merely just found a new way to do what he wanted to do that was constitutional and was legal.
Right.
Okay? But
Right.
when you tell
So
me,
Trump-
no, you're still interrupting me. Stop. So when you're telling me that you can question rulings by the Supreme Court and they're not final, that's wrong. Judgments from the Supreme Court are absolutely final. The only way their decisions can be altered is if Congress passes a new constitutional amendment or if there's a new ruling by the Supreme Court. The executive branch has no jurisdiction and no authority to question or nullify Supreme Court rulings.
Correct. So we agree on that because Biden found a way to make it okay. And if Trump finds a way to make it okay, just like
That's
Biden
not him doing
did,
that. It's just
then
him
it's
violating
fine.
the order.
Biden
Biden didn't violate the order.
It hasn't played out.
What do you mean it hasn't played out? What the fuck are you talking about? It's the final fucking point when we're talking about the Supreme Court. Who are you going to appeal to? You can't. If you appeal to a higher court.
Yeah,
Like
like
there
I'm
is
not
no
saying-
appeal process when it
I'm
comes to the
not-
Supreme Court. It's the final order.
When the Supreme
I'm
Court
not saying
whatever,
appeal.
stop.
Now let me-
When the Supreme Court makes a ruling, it is done. It's over. It's dead in the water. So there's nothing to play out here. Okay? When the Supreme Court ruled that Biden's student loan forgiveness was unconstitutional, it was done, it was dead, it was over, it was in the water. He just simply found another way to do what he originally wanted to do that was constitutional. Okay? Right? But now, as it relates to the deportation of Abrigo Garcia, it's done, it's dead, it's over. The Trump administration is legally required to facilitate his return. All right? But what your argument would tell us here is that once they listen to the Supreme Court, once he's has a facilitated return to America, then they could just probably find other legal ways to deport him, which would probably include due process in an immigration court.
Can I speak now?
You can speak, but I just want it to be very clear. There's no way for the Trump administration to legally circumvent the Supreme Court's ruling that they must circumvent his return.
If he finds another,
There is
Sorry.
no other way. There's no other way. There is no way that the Trump administration can legally uphold his deportation as it stands. They must necessarily facilitate his return unless, and if they don't do that, they're doing something illegal. This other way, quote unquote, would be them facilitating his return and then finding a legal way to deport him after that fact. But if they do anything
Which would be
other
due process.
than facilitate his return to America right now, they're violating the law.
wrong.
Not
If
wrong.
he finds another
All right, well, I gotta
if he
go.
finds another way.
Parker, I appreciate you for coming up here. I'm
Appreciate
so
you,
sorry that the
appreciate
guests
you,
today
man.
are so dense and terrible.
Yeah, they were pretty bad. Everyone, I just want to let y'all know I'll probably be gone for a few days. I'm going to be posting stuff on YouTube still, but I'll probably be gone for a few days from live. I'll try to see what I can do in terms of the lives while I'm gone, but I'll keep y'all updated. I love y'all so much. Have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye, y'all. I love y'all so much. I'll say hi to people on YouTube. If you have any questions, you can ask me on YouTube real quick, but I'm about to get off everyone on YouTube as well. Love y'all.
Peace out, Parker. Okay, so whatever. I just want to make sure that I'm understanding your stance clearly. Are you like essentially saying that there might be a legal argument that his current deportation was legal?
Correct.
Okay. So the reason why you're wrong is because all legal arguments were exhausted given the Supreme Court's final ruling.
Okay. Just like Biden.
Yes, just like Biden.
And so if Trump finds another way, just like Biden found another way, then it's legal.
Okay, I'm going to say this one last time because Biden didn't find another way. Like with his original plan, he didn't find another way to execute his original plan. His original plan was dead in the water.
Okay. So if this is dead in the water, but Trump finds another way, like Biden did, then
Okay.
it's fine.
So I'm only going to say this one last time. Are you going to listen to me? Are you going to listen to me?
You're not listening to me.
You're not listening to me. Are you ready for what I'm about to say?
Are you ready for what I'm about to say?
Yes. But are you ready for what
Okay.
I'm about to say?
Sure. Go ahead.
There's no more legal arguments that Abrigo Garcia's deportation was not criminal. All legal arguments to justify Abrigo Garcia's deportation have been exhausted with the final ruling by the Supreme Court. The other ways the other ways that you're describing, right, that he could find to deport Abrigo Garcia would all be predicated on them first facilitating his return and then giving him a new due process in a new court.
Okay, so if he does find a way, because we're going round and round on this, if he does find a way,
I just want you to concede that
hold
any
on,
other.
hold on,
No.
hold on.
Any, I
Will
want you
you
to
let
concede.
me finish?
I want you to concede.
Will you let me finish?
The answer to your question is no. I want you to concede that any other way they could find to legally deport him would first be predicated on them facilitating his return to this country.
If he finds a way, will you say you were wrong?
I want you to concede that any other way, okay, that they could find to legally deport him would first necessarily be predicated on them facilitating his return to America.
No.
Okay, why?
Because he will find another way, and if he does, you'll say you're wrong, right?
Whatever. I'm
Okay.
going to describe this to you one last time. I'm going to stop every 5 sentences, and I'm going to ask you to repeat after me. Are you ready?
Whatever, dude.
You just said your name. That was kind of funny. Anyways, all right. Here's the deal.
You like
Here's the
you like
deal.
that?
Are you ready? Are you ready? Here's the deal.
for your BS? For your BS?
I'm literally describing to you like 10th grade civics.
Okay. It's going to be so funny when he finds a way, and then you go, oh, well, he didn't do it the right way. You're just going to do that. You just keep deflecting. He's going to find a way. You know he is.
So are you
And then
essentially
just gonna
saying that he's
say,
going to
"Oh,
find a
it's
way to
criminal."
circumvent the Supreme Court order?
No, he's going to find another way, just like Biden did.
I have a question. Is him finding another way nullifying the Supreme Court order?
Was it nullifying when Biden did it?
No.
Oh, okay. All right.
So then
we're
answer my
going round
question.
and round.
No. Please don't answer my question. Would this other way of Trump's nullify the Supreme Court order?
No.
Okay, so then you're saying still yet at the end of the day, the order for him to facilitate the return of Abrigo Garcia to America could not be nullified. Therefore, any other way to deport Abrigo Garcia would first be predicated on his return to America.
No, he's already deported and he's not coming back.
Okay, so then
And
you're
yet-
saying that this other way would nullify the Supreme Court order.
Just like Biden did.
It didn't. Biden's didn't nullify the Supreme Court order.
Okay. Rules for thee and rule. Come on.
No, I'm telling you
Listen.
that neither Biden nor Trump can nullify a Supreme Court order.
Yeah, fine.
Okay.
So-
So once again, so I just want to so we can agree that Trump cannot nullify the Supreme Court order. Yes?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay,
he's
so
not-
then you're
he's
saying
not-
so then I just want to clarify. So if we could agree that Trump cannot nullify the Supreme Court order, then you're saying that the Supreme Court order, legally speaking, must be executed, correct?
Biden didn't execute it.
He did. Biden did execute the Supreme Court order.
No, he didn't. He
Yes, he
went
did.
around it.
No,
He
the
went around
the
it.
Supreme Court order was executed. He never,
Ugh.
he never forgave student loans through the plan in which was ruled as unconstitutional by the Supreme Court, meaning the Supreme Court order was indeed executed. So can we
Okay,
agree
so
that because Donald Trump cannot nullify the Supreme Court order, the Supreme Court order must be upheld? Because the opposite of nullification is that being upheld. And would you say in order for the Supreme Court order to be upheld, it must be executed?
Sure.
Okay. Well, the execution of the Supreme Court order would be the facilitation of his return to America. You just conceded.
Dean, I know you're going to shed tears, but he ain't coming back.
Okay. Well, I mean, then you're just saying that Donald Trump will not execute the Supreme Court order, meaning that Donald Trump is doing something illegal.
No, because if that happens, he'll just
Wait,
find another way to do it.
wait. So you're saying
Just
that
like Biden did.
So you're saying that Donald Trump can both uphold and not uphold Supreme Court order simultaneously?
No.
Okay,
He
so then
can-
he's either going to uphold it or not uphold it, right? So which one is it going to be?
If he doesn't uphold it, then he will.
Answer my
find
question. Is
another
Donald
way.
Trump going to uphold the order or not uphold the order?
Yes, he's going to uphold the order.
Okay, but upholding the order would mean the facilitation of Garcia's return to America.
No, not before he finds a loophole, just like Biden did, and he's not coming back. Dean.
Okay, so then he's not going to uphold the order because the order.
He's not.
Because the order is him coming back. If he's not coming back, then he's not upholding the order.
Look how many people.
Wait. Listen, the order is him coming back. If he doesn't come back, he's not upholding the order.
No,
So then what's the order?
because he'll find another.
No.
way.
Explain to me. What's the order?
He'll find
No.
another. way
Explain to me. What's the order?
He doesn't have to bring him back.
I'm asking you what the order from the Supreme Court is.
He doesn't need to.
You're
bring
not
him
answering
back.
my question. What was the order from the Supreme Court? What did the Supreme Court order the Trump administration to do?
Okay, let me ask you this.
No, you're not
Is there
asking
a-
me anything. You're not asking me jack fucking shit. What was the order that came from the Supreme Court to the Trump administration?
Why are you getting so angry?
Because you're
Dean?
not answering my question. I'm not angry. I'm assertive. Now answer the question.
Dean, if he doesn't come back,
Answer my
Okay,
question.
if he-
I'm going to give you 3 more chances before you get kicked. What was the order that the Supreme Court has an expectation on the Trump administration to follow through with?
he's not coming back, Dean.
Okay, so I just want to clarify that you were refusing to answer my question.
All right. So let's move on. I want
So
to
I
ask
just
you
want to
another
clarify.
thing.
Are you now refusing to answer my question? Asking you if
Sure.
you're refusing to answer my
Sure,
question.
sure.
Great. Well,
agree with
I don't
everything you
talk
said.
to people that refuse to answer my
Sure.
question. So we're gonna move on to the next guest,